So just this week, I said to a couple of my high school lacrosse players, I used a term that I've used thousands of times in my life, and with them, I've probably used hundreds of times just this season. And I got a look back from one of my players, and it was a very curious look. And I said, "Do you know what that term means?" The term was adjacent slide. A little complicated term, but adjacent slide. And she said, "Coach, I have no idea what that term means." And it hit me that I'm often reminded of this and always reminded of it in sales and just within business relationships and frankly with friends and colleagues, that when you say something once and you say something twice, and those are things, the concepts that you're familiar with, it is very easy to falsely assume that other people now have onboarded that and understand what you're saying. And for me, it was a great reminder, and I wasn't upset with her. I understood the dynamic she was dealing with. But we ended up the next day now reinforcing and going back through and doing a big whiteboard lesson around the terminology we use. And now I think, okay, well, great. I've shared the terminology again. I've said that phrase a few more times. Now they're going to get it. And what I have to remind myself is, no, they're not going to get it. You just have to continue to repeat yourself over and over again. And the simpler you can make it and the more consistent you can be with the terms, the more likely it is to stick. And this translates to any sales environment. If you're selling into consumers, certainly in our business, when we talk to new prospects, we just try to be consistent with how we're talking about our product, our application. As you all may know, if you watch these videos, we also will tend to repeat ourselves here, the same themes, and be consistent with how we're talking about those themes. And so repetition is a key piece of carrying your message across to those that you think will benefit from it.